Hi, my name is Beer and let's start with FUMES.
So I saw this game and I thought it looked absolutely awesome, and the name was so easy to remember that I never wrote it down. That was such a mistake, guys, you have no idea. So when I tried to find it, in my mind it was called Fuel, and there was no game with this name. OMG, I was trying various similar names. Fury, Fuego, even substitutes for fuel like diesel, benzene, your mama.
Wait, what?
Never mind. And then I opened my document and it was written FUMES. I did write it down, then decided that I didn't and spent half an hour searching, and I failed to find it anyway. Alrighty, so this game has around 95% positive review score on Steam. My sixth sense of finding great games for you guys didn't fail me this time. It may look like a multiplayer fun of some kind, but FUMES is a single-player game, inspired by the golden era of vehicular combat genre. With fast-paced and intense gameplay, you will get into the car, slap some weapons on, and ride across the wasteland. Cars are customizable, weaponizable, and fun to drive. Absolutely fantastic game. And now let me present to you an awesome action roguelite Steam game where you can slay tons of enemies alone or in a good company of your friends.
LORT,
which is also a sponsor of this video, a very cool third-person hack-and-slash shooter which is available to purchase on Steam from January 21st. I played LORT for a few days with my wife and it definitely has my potato salad spoon of approval. You can find a full video about it in my channel. Now click my link in the description or in the first pinned comment below to get the game. Now it has launch discount and the price is under $10. That is an amazing fun to price ratio. So here you'll fight toward escape, revive your homies and get absolutely chatted as you evolve from Goblin Tickler to an
ultimate killing machine of death and awesomeness.
Well, if you are lucky and skillful enough, because the game provides not only occasional fun but also real challenges. Run, jump, evade attacks of evil and do your own evil attacks. Slay peaceful inhabitants of these beautiful lands, spread carnage and terror to these seemingly peaceful communities and get incredible loot. All you need to do, click my link and you will land in the Steam page of the game. Good luck and happy slaying. Thymesia. This is a dark fantasy action RPG with fast-paced combat and an interesting plague weapon system. In a kingdom where death rules, you will play as a mysterious character known by the codename Corvus. And as always, you are the kingdom's final hope, blah blah, the fate of the land is resting in your hands, and so on. You know, also it's a short game. It is possible to beat it in 6 hours, but hey, let's be fair and square and triangle. It ain't gonna happen unless you are a god of gamepad. Also, if you like tea with Thymes, then you are strong and this game needs you. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. In the near future, Bolivia has fallen into the hands of Santa Blanca, a merciless drug cartel who spreads injustice and violence, kidnaps people and kills those who stand in their way. Well, that is kinda obvious if you ask me. Imagine a drug cartel who spreads joy and freedom, enforces the superiority of the law and pays taxes. I really doubt that this is how drug cartels work, although I think so. I have never created one, yet. So here you will discover the diverse landscapes, both on and off-road, in the air, on land and at sea, with over 60 different vehicles. And your goal is kinda obvious, you have to dismantle the Santa Blanca cartel. You must do that by fighting fire with fire. You know, they kill people and you kill their people. They spread violence, you spread even more violence among them. They sell drugs, you sell even more drugs. Oh wait, maybe not the latter. Anyway, show them who's the real boss in Bolivia is. Probably not you though. Solasta, Crown of the Magister. Here you'll discover the shattered world of Solasta, explore ruins and dungeons for legendary treasures, learn the truth of an age-old cataclysm and stop it from happening again. You will be able to create your own party of adventurers in the classic tabletop RPG tradition. The choices you will make while choosing various skills, traits and backstories of your heroes will reflect in their dialogue. You know, if some of them are born in Potato Saladistan, they will always be enemies with the guys who put pineapple in their potato salad. And with these characters you will dive into long-forgotten dungeons to to unearth ancient artifacts, but stay watchful of light and darkness. Many dangers hide in the dark, but a light can attract monsters as well. Some enemies have dark vision, some may flee from your torch, but, you know, as I always say, the best way to light your way is with fireballs. It doesn't really matter if your enemies have dark vision or not, a fried monster is always better than a raw monster, so the game is pure treasure for a CRPG fans, and also it includes Dungeon Manager, so you can make your own stories and maps, or play some good ones created by way more talented people than you. The Precinct. This looks like an old-school GTA game, but it's entirely the opposite. You'll become a policeman and will have to catch all the criminals that misbehave in your city. The action is set in the past. The year is 1983, and the technologies are accordingly old. That is cool, I like when they go full on the details. So here you'll dive into a world of thrilling car chases, sandbox crimes, and a healthy dose of noir as you protect the city and solve the mystery of your father's murder in the line of duty. Developers say that this is a love letter to a classic cop movies, you know, like Lethal Weapon for example. And just like in GTA games, the Precinct combines police sim with sandbox experience. Patrol the streets and respond to callouts to fight criminals. It doesn't matter petty or powerful. Choose your own tactics in chases and shootouts and feel the shifting power struggles of town gangs. I don't know, this may be a gem you were looking for, or at least a nice polished rock. War for the Overworld. This is a strategy-based building RTS where you will excavate and build your own dungeon. Yes, you are almighty evil dungeon master or mistress. Here you can choose from over 60 rooms, spells, potions, rituals, defenses and constructs as you progress through the game. Just be warned, the game is quite fast-paced, so you'll have to build like a swift underlord you are, or else your beautiful dungeon creatures might not win against the ugly, puny heroes. In the game you can also build your own maps and campaigns, so unleash that inner creator you borrowed somewhere deep down under the bed long time ago. It's your time to shine. People on Steam are calling this game a spiritual successor of Dungeon Keeper. You know, with all the dark humor, evil creatures and evil you. Murky Divers. This is basically a Lethal Company clone with a Subnautica setting. You'll dive with a team of up to 4 friends or strangers to the bottom of the ocean. Your mission is to remove all dead bodies from abandoned labs and erase any evidence on their failed experiments. And those experiments are what left all these lab rats dead. So prepare to meet some nightmares of the deep. They are really creepy. All in all, this is a horror game to play with friends, to scream together and generate nervous laughter afterwards. Also, your oxygen will run out way quicker than you expect, so there are a lot of ways to die, but you should avoid that, dying is not what you want. And another fun part is your submarine. You'll have to navigate blindly only with the help of sonar to avoid dangers. Great game to finally acquire the fear of the ocean. Although be sure you are okay with motion sickness, this game is known to generate one. Endless Space 2. Your story unfolds in a galaxy that was first colonized by godlike beings known as the Endless, who rose and fell eons ago. All that remains of them are mystical ruins, powerful artifacts and a strange, near-magical substance known as dust. Nobody knows the origin of the dust, but I think it's the dried-out leftovers of potato salad once made by these godlike beings, so instead of eating you have to snort it. Anyway, here you'll explore distant star systems, discover the secrets of ancient races, build colonies on distant planets, manage trade routes and develop advanced technologies of unthinkable power. Also encounter new life forms, which you will befriend, go to war against, or just cynically exploit. Or you'll be exploited. You never know what hides deep in the void. You know, the universe is endless, but still somehow smaller than your mama. Ravenswatch. The nightmares here are like your ex, spreading and corrupting everything in their path, so you must hone your skills and find the strength to defeat the creatures of the nightmare, using unique hero abilities inspired by characters from folk tales and legends. Yeah, you can choose one of the well-known heroes, such as the Red Hood, Beowulf or even Aladdin, and hack and slash your way through hordes of monsters. If you played Curse of the Dead Gods, you will be pleased to know that these are the same developers. If you didn't know the game, check it out. It's one of the best hack and slash roguelites inspired by Hades, and Ravenswatch kinda follows a similar visual style as Curse of the Dead Gods and lets you play alone or in a team of up to 4 players co-op. The Dungeon of Naheulbeuk, the Amulet of Chaos. This is a humoristic approach to the serious CRPG genre. The story and whole game is based on a classic humoristic French radio show, so it's filled with French humor. You know, everything is about the baguettes and Eiffel Tower. Also, if you are British, for you this game on Steam costs a few times more than for everyone else, and by buying it you must accept the terms that you agree that France is way more developed country than United Kingdom is. Then you get a 10% discount. Well, that is of course not true, that was some Lithuanian humor for you, but I guess they could really implement that as a joke as well. Anyway, here you'll find exciting battles with creative support mechanics between team members and an adaptive difficulty system, from an accessible and fun story mode with simplified combat to the nightmare mode, where the smallest tactical errors will doom you. Here you'll also encounter more than 100 enemies and epic boss battles. And you know, not every game must have a serious story, sometimes we all need to relax, and this game might be just it. Hellslave. An interesting game for the fans of Darkest Dungeon. Here the world is coming to an end and humanity is on the brink of extinction. A very original and innovative plot never heard before. So you will have to save humanity from a demon invasion by making a pact with the devil and praising one of 6 demons to avoid humanity's demise into darkness. You will have to use your newly acquired demonic power against the invaders, but it may have a bigger impact on you than you thought. Here you'll customize your character around a passive skill tree, discover and experiment with dozens of traits and demonic powers. Also find great synergies between skills and achieve destructible combos to send your adversaries back to hell, or just to hell if they were never in hell before. You know, just to make things clear. People on Steam are saying that the game has an amazing art style, dark and gritty theme and amazing first act, but it lacks polish and may become a bit boring over time. Despite that, the price is quite nice, and if you are a fan of these dungeon crawlers, it may be a good game for you to try. Sunset Overdrive. Here the Sunset City is under siege. A contaminated energy drink somehow has transformed most of the population into toxic mutants. For many it's the end of the world, but for you it's a dream come true. Your old boss? Dead? Your boring job? Gone? Yeah, sounds like a wet dream of every office worker. Although my advice would be to search for not boring job with a nice boss. I know, it's easier to tame a unicorn than that. Hell, what I'm talking about, it's easier to find a League of Legends match with non-toxic randoms. Anyway, here you will transform the open world around you into your tactical playground by grinding, vaulting and wall running across the city while using devastating, unconventional arsenal. The game presents itself as an open world with no rules. Run along walls, leap off buildings and grind power lines and rails to destroy your foes from every angle. Review score is around 90%, so if you like what you see, you know what to do. We happy few. This is the tale of a plucky bunch of moderately terrible people trying to escape from a lifetime of cheerful denial. In this alternative 1960s England, conformity is key. You'll have to fight or blend in with the drug-addicted delusional inhabitants, most of whom don't take kindly to people who won't abide by their not-so-normal rules. In other words, you are in the world of psychos, and you have to stay alive somehow. Reminds me of good old school days back in my youth in a fresh post-Soviet Lithuania. So here you'll discover the city's dark history as you play through the intertwined narratives of 3 rebellious citizens, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Although many people are displeased about the change of narrative, for most of us jumping from one character to another is too big of a change and is annoying, so keep that in mind. Control Ultimate Edition. A corruptive presence has invaded the Federal Bureau of Control, and only you have the power to stop it. The world around you is now your weapon in an epic fight to annihilate an ominous enemy across the deep and unpredictable environments. Containment has failed, humanity is at stake, so it's time to kick some paranormal ass. SCP vibes are really strong here. To be fair, this game feels like you are in a dream all the time. Well, nightmare to be exact, because everything is changing all the time and not for good. The game is not scary, but it's ominous, that's for sure. People on Steam are saying that the story is very good, the game itself is out of the ordinary and it has some really cool puzzles to solve. So a bit of everything for everyone. Songs of Conquest. This game is as close to Heroes of Might and Magic 3 as it can get, but it doesn't have town screens. Instead of that, you will build your town like in casual strategy games, on the ground on the world tier. That kinda kills the mood, but everything else is by the book. It is a truly honest clone made in pixel art style, although even if you like the art style, like I do, sometimes you want to zoom in so you could look at the creatures and their features, but then you realize that you just zoomed in on a bunch of colored squares, and you can't even tell where the head or a butt is anymore, so no zooming here, adore the visuals from afar. And you have to admit, what a beautiful game this is. I seriously want to eat it, or at least put it as an ingredient into my potato salad. Music is also amazing, like a honey to our ears, and the campaign is wonderfully written. You really care about your heroes and the fate of this land. And when you finish everything, you can enjoy map editor and create more of this game for yourself, or just download tons of content created by way more talented people than you are. No offense, I do the same. The Invincible. The Invincible was written by Polish writer Stanisław Lem, the author of the very well-known Solaris. In general, I think that The Invincible should have been a movie, but I will take a game as well. So the plot of the book, I will try to tell you without spoilers, is revolving around an expedition who has landed on a distant desert planet, much like a Mars, but an itsy-bitsy teeny-weeny more alive one. And then bad things start to happen. Duh. All I can say that this plot is not a usual one where you land on some creepy rock and then some monsters start snatching your crew one by one. It's not like that. If you remember Solaris, you can realize that Stanisław Lem tried to avoid clichés and think of something more intriguing. So I can promise you that The Invincible is not a cliché story. It is really good, less psychological if you compare it to Solaris and more action-oriented. Also, if you played Firewatch, you will see where they took the inspiration from. Metamorphosis. You wake up one morning to find that you are rather inconveniently transforming into a tiny bug, while your friend Joseph is being arrested for reasons unknown. Well, probably for swinging his ding-dong in public place once again. But, you know, he's your friend, you don't judge. So to save him and find the answers you seek, you must embark on a journey through a world which, like yourself, has become twisted and unfamiliar. What once seemed like mundane dwellings have become an expansive obstacle course, and now you'll have to chart your path through nooks and crannies that exist within the cracks of civilization. You will have to use your wits to unravel the truth and regain the life you once knew. Or not. You might just be a crazy wacko after all. I don't know. Also, you can download and play a free demo as well. Deep Rock Galactic. This is a 1-to-4 players first-person shooter featuring badass space dwarfs and 100% destructible environments. Here you can play alone or work together with other players as a team to dig, explore and fight your way through a massive cave system filled with hordes of deadly enemies and valuable resources. Pick some powerful guns like flamethrowers, Gatling guns, portable platform launchers, and show those puny aliens who's the boss. Dwarfs may be small, but they are really powerful. We in Lithuania have a saying,
Neugis or smugis.
Meaning not the size, but the punch is what really matters. And your punch is really, you know, probably weak in real world, but really impactful for the alien population in these dangerous caves. People on Steam are talking that there is no reason not to play this game, and I have to agree, show those monsters the true meaning of extinction.
Rock and stone, baby.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate. This is a fast-paced roguelike action game. You will take control of all 4 turtles, each wielding unique powers, and team up with friends for co-op gameplay. And when I say friends, the game offers even a split screen, like developers actually believe that we have real friends. That is so cute. So here you'll explore iconic New York City locations, upgrade your turtle powers, and prepare to face off against well-known enemies, especially the evil boss, that physicist Schrödinger, or something similar. I swear, I remember when I was a kid and I was arguing with other kids who would win in a fight, Schrödinger or Dark Vader. Yeah, those two could fight, that's for sure. So, have I pissed both fandoms already? Tell me, have you written a comment explaining the real names to me and now shamefully deleted it? Yeah, at least in your mind, right? So the story is quite simple. Kreese kidnapped Master Miyagi and now Karate Kid's... Oh wait, no, Shredder kidnapped the Rat Sensei and the turtles have to kick his ass and save the master. During the adventure you will face a whole pantheon of Teenage Mutant Ninja enemies, like Bebop, Rocksteady, giant crocodiles and other mutated animals. Looks like a fun game with friends, if you have friends. You don't you? So subscribe, at least we'll be friends with benefits. Blasphemous 2. Awakened in a strange new land and displaced from your final resting place, you thrust back into the endless cycle of life, death and resurrection. There is no other option than to explore this perilous new world and uncover its long-forgotten secrets. There is nothing game-changing or very innovative in the second part of the Blasphemous, but you know the rule, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Your journey starts anew in a series of enchantingly grotesque landscapes, oozing gothic charm and littered with unforgiving traps. How you tackle the labyrinthian world remains at your discretion. There is no wrong turn to be made, only scores to settle. Taking down your enemies won't be easy, but the game is offering more chances to customize and improve your skill set, along with several new unique weapons to wield, so victory might just be within your grasp, but probably not. Caravan SandWitch. You will embark on a journey across a sci-fi world. Driven by a mystery to find your missing sister, you will interact with various communities, help them with their tasks, and meet new people along the way. Take your time to explore the world, whether in your van or on foot. The game is aiming to be crowned as a king of relaxing exploration games. You will find no combat, no death, no timer, just you, your van, and the world. Here, equipped with an array of essential tools, you will upgrade your van to open up new passages and ruins. From navigating treacherous terrain to uncovering ancient historical sites. Every step of your journey will bring you closer to unraveling mystery behind your sister's disappearance. Still wakes the deep. Here you are, an offshore oil rig worker, fighting for your life through a vicious storm, perilous surroundings and the dark, freezing North Sea waters. As if that weren't enough, all lines of communication have been severed, and even that is not everything that went wrong. All exits are gone and something just crawled aboard from the depths. Otherworldly cosmic horror now roams the rig, and you have to navigate this collapsing structure with hopes of saving your crew from a fate worse than death. So basically you will have to escape the place and avoid, distract and sneak around in best attempts to survive. This is an incredibly immersive Lovecraftian story that puts you in the seat of the protagonist. Be sure your mental balls are heavy, hairy and made of something hard to crack. This game is not a walk in the park, that's for sure. Dredge. Dredge is not just a fishing game, it's a fishing game with a twist. After dark it becomes a Lovecraftian fishing game. The world around you is teeming with creatures from the void, and when the night sets in, our worlds collide and cosmic horrors enter our realm. Not as scary as your ex-mother-in-law, but still terrifying things. So ideally you want to return to a harbor before the night sets in, so you won't become a dinner for some malevolent demigod of the depths. You can also dock in some safe location and sleep during the night. Of course, it is easier said than done, because the game uses a very cool time management mechanic. If you do nothing, time doesn't move. Like for real, if you just swing on the waves and admire the horizon, you can stay like this forever. But when you start sailing, the timer starts ticking, and at 6 PM Lovecraftian madness starts to settle in. This is a wonderful and honestly kinda relaxing game. Well, except when you go into mangroves. Oh, it's not relaxing at all. Anyway, the game is absolutely 10 cold beers out of 10. A must play. The Witness. I hate this game. The Witness is for smart people with great memory, and I'm none of these people. And although I like puzzles and all that, but by playing Witness I realize that I'm way dumber than I imagined. So if you like to test your memory and IQ, this is a great title for you. Just keep in mind that the results can be a bit disappointing. The game itself is set on a beautiful open-world island where you have to crack all the riddles to unveil a terrible secret. If you are not some puzzle maniac, you will never get there, but at least the game will show you your limits. Teardown. This sandbox game features a fully destructible and interactive environment. You can plan the perfect heist using creative problem solving, brute force and everything in between. Tear down walls with explosives or vehicles to create shortcuts, stack objects, build structures or use floating stuff to your advantage. Run, drive, jump, slingshot, you can do whatever you need to achieve your goal. Avoid robots or steal whatever your client asks for, but make sure not to get caught. Game has not only sandbox mode but also a serious campaign where you start accepting work from more or less shady persons. This is a story of a murky soup of revenge, betrayal and insurance fraud. Yeah, that kind of depth in, as it seems, destructible environment engine is absolutely wild. You soon find yourself stealing cars, demolishing buildings, blowing up safes, avoiding trigger-happy robots and many more. The game has above 90% positive review score and is more than worthy of your attention. Project Warlock. Here you will become a mysterious warlock and embark on a dangerous mission to eradicate all evil. Yeah, seriously, I thought warlocks are evil, but yeah, you are good somehow and want to smite evil creatures with everything you have. Every single one of them, no matter where and when. You will travel through time and space to wreak mayhem and destruction like in the golden days of FPS games. Here you'll explore 60 levels in 5 settings, from ice Antarctic base to sands of Egypt or medieval castles. As in all classic games like this, you will find keys to unlock passages, reveal secret doors with golden ammo, use lifts and hidden buttons to access new areas. And of course, finally, you will descend to hell and face the ultimate challenge and emerge victorious or, you know, perish like a puny loser. Which will never happen. You are awesome, my friend. Never doubt that. The Forgotten City. This game, as a lot of gamers point out, is a Groundhog Day in an ancient city. The mechanic here is simple. Everyone around you is dying for unknown reasons and you have to stop it. If you fail, and you will fail more than once, you can just go to the portal and restart the day over and over again until you solve the problem of dying so nobody dies anymore. If you think about it, this is a roguelite game, just story-based instead of combat. And it's really one of the best adventure games there is. I'm not gonna lie, if you go to Steam you will see the overwhelmingly positive review score. Also, fun fact, this game started as a Skyrim mod a long time ago and it was so well received it became a separate kick-ass game. Nobody saves the world. When an ancient calamity reawakens, who can save the world? And the answer is nobody. That's you. You are nobody. Not in real life. In real life, you are an awesome, beautiful person. Never doubt that. Now, subscribe. So here you'll master the art of transformation to become a slug, ghost, dragon, a horse, or someone else. Like an egg, for example. Actually, here you'll find more than 15 distinct forms you can become of. You can mix and match abilities in unexpected ways to unlock and complete even more challenging quests. You can explore a vast overworld on your own or with a friend online. This game is not only beautifully drawn, but it's kinda crazy as well, just like your sister. Clash, Artifacts of Chaos. From the very first moment I saw the game, I instantly realized that I'm seeing something great, something far beyond the games I'm used to. The art style here is awesome and the game is great as well. I should probably start by saying that this is a story-rich, Souls-like RPG adventure game. You play as Sudo, a master of martial arts who lives as a recluse in the strange land of Xenozoic. When you cross paths with a small creature whose mysterious powers have attracted the attention of some evil lady, you decide to protect him, unaware that much greater forces are involved. But you don't care because you are awesome and everyone else just suck. They don't know that yet, so you are eager to bring wisdom. And by wisdom I mean bloodshed and broken bones. Your fists and speed are your greatest weapons. You will attack, dodge, stun, block or counter a parry to land a special attack. You can even switch to a first-person view to perform unique techniques. Each time it's up to you to seize the occasion to achieve victory. If this is not a hidden gem in its true essence, I don't know what is. If you like difficult and trippy games, this is a must. Overcrowd, a Commute Em Up. Every day millions crowd the metro in a desperate bid to get to work. Can you build and run the perfect metro station to help them make it on time? Probably not, but you can try anyway. Excavate your way through 4 layers of earth. Design your layout carefully and plot commuter routes with user-defined directional signs. You'll need to assemble a crack team, tool them up and deploy them to run your station in real time. You can set priorities, schedule breaks or just deploy them manually. Keep your staff room well stocked and your employees happy and you can take your tube station to new depths. But don't worry, here everything can go wrong very quickly. Angry people create more angry people, especially if they are late to work, and there is a 2-kilometer line between them and the ticket machine.
Why didn't they buy tickets online then?
Yeah, exactly, why didn't they? Assassin's Creed Unity. Game is set in the city of Paris during one of its darkest hours. The French Revolution is in action. Here you will do all the usual Assassin's Creed stuff and take part in one of the most important moments of French history by participating in the events that shape the city of today. If the game's franchise would be naming its titles by numbers, this would be Assassin's Creed 8. So yeah, they have been baking these like cookies for almost 2 decades now. But keeping in mind that Assassin's Creed Unity is more than 10 years old, the graphics are quite impressive and the gameplay is enjoyable despite some minor control issues. The biggest issue whatsoever is that it requires the Ubisoft launcher, and if it is down, you can't play the game. Also, the co-op feature that is kinda famous here is plagued with connection bugs and errors. It's a nice game, but I have warned you for a reason. Lamentum. You will find an intriguing story with the best tropes of Bram Stoker and H.P. Lovecraft implemented. I won't spoil you the plot though, all I can say that this is an example of a game that doesn't hold your hand or penis. You can combine things to make new things. Sadly, only those things that are meant to be combined can be conjoined together. For example, you can't combine a tooth with a coin or a pineapple with potato salad because that is a blasphemy! The surroundings of the game are made very well and they are kinda creepy. Weird paintings on the walls, blood on the ground and intestines in the bathroom makes your imagination go wild. It is very easy to immerse yourself in this game and take it as a story from a book. But Lamentum is not only a story, here are plenty of dangerous places that are ready to kill you without any hesitation. Monsters are creepy, but if you have a sword or other weapon you can easily chop them to pieces. Although at the beginning you are unarmed and your only weapon is your running capability. Sadly enough, I discovered that I can run only after several deaths.
What a shame.
Yeah. Totally accurate battle simulator. If you are just bored and want to kill some time in single player without thinking too much, I doubt there is a better game for that than Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. At first, it's really funny. Second, it challenges your IQ and actual tactical skills. All you need to do is to choose your units, place them strategically and press the fight button. They will do all the battling part by themselves and you will observe it like some overarching god who has no power to influence anything anymore. So when your army is ripped apart and its scattered remains lie on the ground, then you may think of another strategy and try again, and then again. Some of the battles in the campaign are crazy hard and will squeeze your IQ through your nostrils. Also, if you have some doubts, the game has about 100,000 reviews left on Steam and the score is really close to 100%. I'm not kidding, it's probably one of the best rated games on the whole Steam. Slay the Spire. More than 100,000 players are recommending this game for you, and so do I. Slay the Spire is a fuse of card games and roguelike titles. You can craft a unique deck, encounter bizarre creatures, and discover relics of immense power while trying to climb up the ladder. Game features a dynamic deck building, so assemble your deck wisely. Discover hundreds of cards to add to your deck with each attempt at climbing the spire. Select cards that work together to efficiently dispatch foes and reach the top. People on Steam are talking that Slay the Spire is really addictive, and yeah, I'm seeing a lot of hours played in the comment section. 200 is quite a casual number here, so another game that will keep your virginity safe and sound for a long time.
And now thank you for watching, have a nice day and subscribe. Bye.